every time that the nation has faced the crisis of democracy, the Supreme Court has been found wanting. It has not taken a decision. It has prolonged decisions. It has taken wrong decisions. And at the end of the day, it has misused its power under 142 to involve the judiciary in doing wrong against the opposition party and in favor of the ruling party.
No, so you are clearly saying that these bank accounts of TMC, the 3 bank accounts which were frozen, were clearly and deliberately done with an eye to capture all the money which was there in TMC's accounts, and all this money now will go to BJP's coffer.
No, it will not go to the BJP coffer. It will go to create a sham opposition. Does the ED know that every transaction of the RSS is done in cash? These people have gone to the villages, not even town, villages, collected money in the name of Ram Mandir. Not a single paisa has been collected by check. Everything in rokda, cash, cash. Where has that cash gone? How much of the cash was there? The police is given the right to freeze the account of the political party. Yesterday, the same police was bending its knees to Mamata Banerjee. So are they serving their political masters or are they serving the state?
Hello and a warm welcome to HW News Network, your one-stop show, truth be told, for some engaging and thought-provoking conversations. In a major relief to Mamata Banerjee and Trinamool Congress Party, the Calcutta High Court on Thursday appointed a special officer to facilitate the operation of the 3 TMC bank accounts that were frozen on the directions of the West Bengal Police after rebel TMC MLA Biswanath Das lodged a complaint alleging fund misuse. Now, Justice Shaugata Bhattacharya has appointed retired Judge Justice Subrata Talukdar as the special officer till September 30th. Now, the court has permitted TMC to resume operating its frozen bank accounts under Justice Talukdar's supervision, albeit only for day-to-day expenses. The money in the account shall be used only for the day-to-day expenses needed for the running of the party and for legal expenses. That's what the court has said. No other expenditure, major or minor, shall be permitted by special officer. This is what the court said, and I quoted this for you. Now, though the state vehemently opposed the use of the money in the accounts to fund legal expenses and fees of the TMC, the judge allowed such expenses as well. Now, the interim order was passed after taking into account the submission by the rebel MLA complainant that if the petitioner, that is the TMC, is given the right to operate the bank accounts, valuable evidence may be tampered with. Now, the court has permitted any 2 of the authorized signatories of those 3 bank accounts to present checks before the court-appointed special officer as and when the money is required to fund day-to-day expenses. The officer shall countersign the check and then it shall be presented before bank authority for encashment. So this is how the court has directed as far as the TMC accounts are concerned. You remember they've frozen the accounts on the plea by this particular petitioner. But today we are not only going to discuss the TMC's frozen bank accounts, its legalities, its pros and cons, but we will also contrast it with the RSS. Now remember, Priyank Kharge has asked for details like where do you get the money from, what are your sources of income, registration, office bearers. Those details have not been disclosed by Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh. They say that they thrive and live on voluntary donations or what they call Guru Dakshina. So we'll try and juxtapose both these cases today on The Truth Be Told. Joining me this evening is lawyer and activist Arun Agarwal. Arun sir, thank you so much for joining. And what would you say about the TMC's frozen bank accounts and the interim relief they have got from the court today?
Good evening, Neelu ji. See, it's not about the frozen account. It is something which is unprecedented, which strikes at the very root of the democracy. This is a Gestapo, worse than a Gestapo like operation, going to a political party whose defectors, I use the word defectors for money, have not even clothed themselves with any legality. Their status is unknown because the Speaker of the Lok Sabha is not taking a decision, nor is the Election Commission going to take a decision. Whereas, as far as the law is concerned, they are in clear-cut violation. They are not another party. The two-third applies to the party, not to the legislatures or the MPs. The law is very clear. It has been laid down. Yet, the Supreme Court Chief Justice, time and again at public forum, says that we have to function like an ICU. There should be an ICU unit as there is in a hospital. But when emergencies arise which strike at the root of this democracy, they are found sleeping at the wheel. Every time that the nation has faced a crisis of democracy, the Supreme Court has been found wanting. It has not taken a decision. It has prolonged decisions. It has taken wrong decisions. And at the end of the day, it has misused its power under 142 to involve the judiciary in doing wrong against the opposition party and in favor of the ruling party. I'll give you an example of this, that when the additional district judge were asked to function as BLOs and EROs, they disenfranchised 27 lakh voters by this thing. When they went in appeal in one ex-chief justice's case in the tribunal, 1,777 cases went. All the cases were decided against the Election Commission and the ADJs who had passed those orders. 1717 was decided in favor of the appealing this thing, appealing people whose name had been removed from the electoral roll, and the balance 60 odd cases where the Election Commission had appealed and those two were removed. So what we are seeing is that the state government, central government, election commissioner, and the judiciary, all of them are acting in a partisan manner to finish democracy. There is a saying that democracy dies in darkness. That is, in fact, the logo of Washington Post newspaper. But here we find that the democracy is being killed in daylight, and by every means that the state can adopt. So far, the political parties enjoyed immunity from all these structures of the state order. But this is for the first time. Earlier, IT was used to freeze the funds of the Congress during the 24 election. Here, now there is a split. So a FIR is filed by a dissident who is a rogue, who is a defector, who is a turncoat. These are the only epithets who has not been given legitimacy by any authority. And
basically, it's a complaint filed by a traitor, the traitor of the party.
And the very next day, because they want to lay hand on these funds, their grubby, oily hands, they want to grab these funds. Whom do they use? ED, come ED. Here it is next day. We'll come to the charges next and how there is a difference in treatment of all these people.
No, so you are clearly saying that these bank accounts of TMC, the 3 bank accounts which were frozen, were clearly and deliberately done with an eye to capture all the money which was there in TMC's accounts, and all this money now will go to BJP's coffer.
Oh, no, it will not go to the BJP coffer. It will go to create a sham opposition like you have in Russia. We are a Russian state to create a false opposition and fund them. And to ensure that the TMC doesn't have any access, like they did with Mayawati. They used the threat and she withdrew. So this is nothing but a state action, BJP action, to nullify the access to funds by the legitimate TMC. Without funds, you are
Are
nobody.
you aware of any such episode in the past? Is there a past precedent where the court becomes a party into freezing a political party's account?
No, that's what I'm saying, that they have gone into uncharted territory. And I'm shocked that all the political parties have not protested. Your turn will also come. One by one, this is what they are going to do. If at all anybody was to be raided, it was the BJP. And I'll tell you why. Because they were the biggest beneficiaries of those in whose balance sheet there was no profit. They were shell companies. And yet they donated not only 7.5, more than 75% in total violation of the law which was struck down. And yet neither Chandrachud moved nor this ED moved. Both of them are guilty of inaction on a judgment that was given. And I'll tell you that one of the common source of funds, there is one Martin Lottery King. He what he does is, where his lottery is allowed and he's supposed to give a certain amount, and lotteries are illegal in most states and it is a state subject. So he donates massively to the political parties. So he had donated 540 crores to Trinamool. That is as per the data that was there in the electoral bond case. 507 crores to DMK, 100 crores.
Doesn't it say 440 crores? These three frozen bank accounts, they have money to the tune of 40.
See, this ED is being very clever. And it is very corrupt. Most corrupt organization in the country. What it has done is, it has not gone in the source of funds, where money laundering has taken place, shell companies who have donated to BJP, that they have not investigated. They have gone into the expenditure. What is the gravamen of the charges? Because I know both finance and law. What I make up on this thing, I make up on finance. They gave 150 crores. I think some figure, 160 crores to an aircraft leasing company for higher charges.
Yes.
Between 23 to now. That means it covers 2 elections. I am sure the BJP's figure will be 1,000 crores. Now they are accusing, because it is a leasing company, naturally, if there is demand, somebody is to hire, they will go and purchase aircraft. So they purchase the aircraft. Now they are saying that you finance that purchase of the aircraft by giving this money to lease the aircraft. And there is something as a back-to-back lease which occurs in finance, where you finance the asset and then you take it back on the lease in order to remove it from your balance sheet and show a better profit and loss account so that it doesn't go into the capital expenditure and only the rent is paid. So that concept they have adopted here. When the accounts are audited, from 23 onwards they were being audited. They were filed with the Election Commission. Who is the proper authority? Election Commission. Who is sitting there? The most corrupt election commissioner till date. Which is the bank? HDFC. Who is sitting there? Another chief election commissioner, Rajiv Kumar, recently appointed. Everything is a coincidence.
No, but this entire thing of how money was transferred to an aviation firm, is this a deliberately cooked up story which ED is trying to give through their press statements?
You please disclose how much of funds does BJP transfer and how many aircrafts that company purchases. It is the biggest. You see, they are spending 10,000 crores. If a political party is spending 500, the ratio is 20:1 in white. In black, though, God knows how much they are spending. So everybody, suppose you buy, so let us imagine the worst case scenario, that they did purchase it. If you are using your funds to purchase a motor car, is it illegitimate? It is a mode of transportation. If BJP purchases 5 aircrafts, what is the illegality? You will freeze the account. You audit the account. The audited accounts have been filed up to date. And this complaint pertains to 23-26, where 3 accounts have been frozen. What does it show? That the central government, ED, that is through ED, the Election Commission and the dissident, and I dare say the court. Most important, they are all hand in glove to see to it that the democracy is stops functioning in this court. And
So
what is
Arun,
it?
you remember when Congress's accounts were also frozen just before the elections? I believe their accounts were frozen. How do you see that case and this case as any different?
Well, Congress was a little fortunate because they had lost in all the income tax appeals and all that, merely because they have filed their returns a little late. It was a very technical this thing for which you could not freeze the account. Ultimately, it went to the Supreme Court where you had a neutral, I wouldn't say friendly, judge who saw through this game and allowed the operation of the account. Otherwise, Congress would have not got 99 seats, it would have sunk over there. It would have been ready. This is the underhand. See, these people are not bothered. RSS is being investigated for being a terrorist organization in USA, in spite of their lobbying. Does the ED know that every transaction of the RSS is done in cash? These people have gone to the villages, not even town, villages, collected money in the name of Ram Mandir. Not a single paisa has been collected by check. Everything in rokda, cash, cash. Where has that cash gone? How much of the cash was there? How much of money came from abroad to VHP to build the temple which was misappropriated? These things they will not investigate. Now all this story that is going on in Ram temple, these have been converted into assets by the political party in power as well as the RSS. Does the ED have the guts to investigate this? So we are looking at a police state.
No, but there is another development today. There is another development, sir, as far as the Ram Temple theft, since we are talking about that. The SIT chief, Vishwas Pant, there is a forgery and cheating case against him, which is pending in Meerut. There is an FIR against him, and then he's been made the SIT chief.
The people who have maximum allegation against them are appointed to the highest post, which also includes in the judiciary, the highest post. They have pending allegation. So that becomes a merit because then you can control them.
No, but
And
is
they are
this the
not
first
bothered
time?
about their, because they have got the media and the Bhakt intellectuals to defend them, so-called.
But
That
sir,
is why-
do you believe that this is for the first time that the court is a direct party into freezing any political party's account?
No, the court should have seen through and asked them that make a strong case. The money has already gone. Why are you freezing the accounts there? I have already paid to them. You establish a case. You freeze that money which has gone to the airline or to that hiring company. Why are you freezing my current account? So that these defectors get a favorable order from a corrupt chief election commissioner who is sitting there because of the inaction of the Chief Justice of India, and thereafter that case has been heard and no order has been passed or no judgment has come. By
No,
their
but I'm
grace-
also shocked. I'm also shocked at the bench which has given the interim relief. It seems that it is some kind of a mercy they have given that
No,
we
it is
will
all-
allow the day-to-day
all-
expenses.
all, these are all balancing act. All right, 400 crores you need to travel, you need here. And I'm putting a judge of the High Court to oversee that, not an auditor.
Yeah.
What is happening? Or you say you
No,
bring
but
it
what is the
every-
logic? Sir, what is the
all these
logic?
judges also who are BJP oriented.
No, but
We have
sir,
seen
what is the
that.
logic? What is the logic behind putting a judge as a officer?
Only to be seen to be a little fair. No, you should do 100% justice, but you are doing 10% justice. So that you can, at a later date say, no, I did this. Like Chandrachud says, I gave bail to so many A2. That's the type of this thing. These people think that they are the only people who have a brain in their head, and the rest of the people who are their duffers and all the other lawyers and all, they don't know any law. This is indefensible. This strikes at the root of democracy. Article 19, you have a right to form an association. You have a right to form a political party, but I will grab your funds.
So, but the hurry and the speed and the scale at which this entire thing was done, I'm reading out a portion from Bar and Bench what they have written. FIR was drawn up at 6 hours, 18.00, 6 hours on June 18th, and hurriedly on the next day on June 19th, those three accounts were debit frozen. This is what the judge recorded in his order that has come as part of the order. The court also added that it made an attempt to find out the material relied upon by the police to debit freeze the accounts to little avail. And what the court has recounted in its order is very interesting, and I'm just quoting that. At this stage, court is unable to find particular materials which could have been the basis of taking such abrupt steps. What does that mean, sir?
No, then the benefit of the doubt has to go to the political party. That means there is no material, and first thing is, a police is given the right to freeze the account of the political party. Yesterday, the same police was bending its knees to Mamata Banerjee. So, are they serving their political masters or are they serving the state?
Sir, but I think we should also talk about the mindset of the judges. Now, the same very Bar and Bench report says that the judge in his oral remarks very clearly said that why such a lightning speed everything happened. When a poor
citizen... That should have been the basis of a recording his oral this thing and giving a favorable order.
Yes, so this is what I wanted you to speak on. So that is why I'm reading out that portion. The judge says,
Neelu, let me interrupt you. I'm sorry for interrupting. This has become the character of this judiciary. Blow hot in your observation and then in your order, favor the government.
Yeah.
This consistency has been happening. You remember, I'll give you an instance when Justice Gawai asked a simple, first of all, he left it to the lawyer. He asked him that, look, my father was associated with Congress. Do you have any objection if I hear the case? So naturally, what could he say? Jethmalani said, Junior said, no, you go ahead. He asked a simple question. Why has nobody said, why the 2 years? Again, it was the hurry, that duration. And he took a break of 5 minutes, 10 minutes, consulted amongst his judges, came back, dictated an order, and nullified the High Court order, which they had lost in 3 courts. After that, it had come to the Supreme Court. So, the hurry, everything, this has become a pattern of the judiciary. Oral observation, lofty. You will find Justice Suryakant going and saying, courts have to function, as I pointed out, as an emergency ward. Whenever there is an emergency, you send the patient to the morgue and then you try to revive it. This is what you did in SIR. This is exactly what you did in the appointment of Election Commission. I am leveling these allegations that what you say, you don't live up to. Your word is not your honor. If you do not honor your word, then what for?
Absolutely. That is why I wanted to read out that portion for the viewers. I'm just reading that out again. The judge says that why such a lightning speed everything happened. When a poor citizen comes to a police station, the police is not activated. But when a complaint is lodged on evening 6 p.m. with respect to 3 months, next day, freeze occurs. This is what the judge remarked orally. And then Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, appearing for the state, said that it was acting with the objective of protecting people's money and property. This is what Tushar Mehta said. Yes, sir.
So if I extend the logic, the Solicitor General is going to determine that the money of the political party is people's money. By people, he means the state. It is my money. And the judge is not able to see through it. What good is his observation? People will not remember him for his observation. People will remember him for his order. Like the previous judge who was passing orders in favor of Trinamool, resigned, became an MP and sat in the parliament.
No, but Tushar Mehta also gives another logic. He says that if the bank accounts are defrozen, rival TMC factions may clash on who gets to operate it.
No, but where is the legality of the rival, this thing? They have not gone in the ground. Now look here. Here again, it shows how they are in conspiracy. The rival TMC has not gone to the police station and said that we will be handicapped, or they have not represented to the Election Commission or to the concerned authority or the judicial authority that in case we are considered to be the genuine TMC, then all this money will be gone and will be frozen. Right? There is a money trail. The bank account is, the money is in the account when the judges were making purchases of air conditioners and all through that intermediary in the PF scandal fund. Then money trail was there or not? So the question is that is not the complaint. The complaint is what? You purchase, you lease the aircraft. Which party does not lease an aircraft? So it is a transportation bill of 3 years, which is the subject matter of the complaint. And Mr. Tushar Mehta is arguing on behalf of these dissenters, which shows that they are hand in hand and gloves and they are in conspiracy with each other. That is exactly what I am trying. And the judge accepts it after making all those observations. The judge would have said, no nonsense. These pertain to past accounts. The present account has got nothing to do with it. Please come with a case, then I will. Freezing the account of a political party is something which has happened for the first time on flimsy ground. When there is a dissent in this thing, you go to the election commission and say that till the matter is decided, the accounts to be frozen. Fair enough. Janesh Kumar will immediately give you the order, but they didn't want to do it.
No, so at least the court should have said this. Court should have said this, but they didn't even say that. No, but
go to the election commission.
Right, but when you juxtapose this entire case with BJP and RSS,
this is the real reason that you want to grab that money by hook or by crook, and more by crook than by hook. Where is the hook?
Sir, but when you juxtapose this entire case with BJP and RSS's accounts, how do you see the things? Now, here you have an RSS who's not ready to even disclose their sources of income. They are not even ready to tell you the names of the office bearers.
Here, the entire thing is that everything is coming in cash and is being spent in cash. Accounting is, whether it is based on accrual basis or on cash basis, it means that on actual basis. You know, if you give a loan or if something is to be paid, then you're on the day, whatever is this thing, you are accounting. The second method is an accrual basis, that this money will come, this expenditure I have to make. So all that is disclosed in the balance sheet. Here, though, they are only accounting in cash. People are collecting money in villages, building headquarters. Is it not money laundering? Buying cars, building a headquarter of RSS. All this is laundered money in the name of Ram. So where is the entire ED sleeping when it comes to the, let them show how much of their operation is by check. 50,000 rupees you cannot donate without accounting for it. 50,000 rupees you cannot withdraw, you cannot make a deposit in cash. All these things are being floundered by the RSS. So RSS is the state, it is operating through the BJP, is its subsidiary political party, and ED is working under it. So you can do anything and everything and get away with it and make it a big issue. There is absolutely no defense for the Calcutta High Court not to have taken to task, given the fact that democracy is at stake and their orders have been a party to it. Now the entire thing is being run under paramilitary, that state. It is your orders, it was your ADJ which disenfranchised 27 lakh people wrongly who were not allowed to vote. So take responsibility. If the judges don't take responsibility, see what has happened. Opposition parties have written a letter to the Chief Justice. What does it mean? They have no faith in the Chief Justice. If they had faith, they would have filed a petition. They are not seeing the writing on the wall. They think that they are going to be here forever. They have surrounded themselves in a bubble where flattery and powers that they wield unchecked is what they face every day. That's the life they lead. They forget that they will not only be judged in this country, they will be judged in foreign countries where study of Indian Constitution is a subject which many scholars specialize in, and they write books on. So if they are not bothered about it, so be it. But as far as I am concerned, this is the blackest letter day in the history of Indian democracy. Nothing could have been worse.
Absolutely.
And the 10,000 crores that the election commission seizes in every election, is that subjected to ED's scrutiny? They take money and refund all the money. They will seize 10,000 crores, make a big show of it. Let's see, we caught this, we caught that, and then nobody will object. They will take their cut, 5%. Now, suppose if you have taken 2 crores of my money, and the electoral officer, the district electoral officer says that you please give me 20 lakhs out of that 2 crores, what will I do? Yeah, I said, all right, you take 20 lakhs. At least give me my 1 crore. So at least 20% of that 10,000 crores is eaten away by all these people who sit on deciding on releasing that 10,000 crores of money that is seized in every election. But ED doesn't come in.
As a concluding remark, Mr. Agarwal, I just want to ask you what you said initially in your statement, that the judiciary has got into an uncharted territory. So which means that judiciary is now trying to do things which it has not done earlier. And this particular episode goes to show that.
No, the challenge that each judge who wants to be promoted or wants to care for this thing, so they are more conscious of their career than the destiny of this nation. So they choose between themselves and the nation. So you can judge how patriotic they are. So what are they doing? They are being clever in how to balance it and tell this thing. See, I gave you at least day-to-day expenditure supervised by a high court judge. See how liberal I was, forgetting that you murdered democracy. Your own observations. You went against your... So if your word is... I have said this to a former Chief Justice of India in his court. Your Lordship, your word is your honor. When you don't honor your word, what remains? When you don't honor your oral observation is all very good. Does it give anything in writing? Arre chhodiye. Don't give us this small, chewing gum and big bubble gum and what you call now melody, that chocolate that Modi ji was donating, and try and become a hero. Judiciary, when we lose our democracy, there will be 10 judges to whom fingers will be pointed. And posterity point that finger. I can name 3 of them right now, but I'm leaving it.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Agarwal, for joining on HW News. Thank you. Thank you, sir.